Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm DivaRefiraFayza. So on this recording, I'd like to talk about the syntactic forms about word, phrase, clause, sentence, and about the functions head, modifier, subject, object, and predicate. So the first one is about syntactic forms. Word. A word is a single unit of language containing one or more morpheme, which can fill a particular slot in a sentence. Words can be classified into several classes, and in English there are 11 classes of words. The first one is noun. Noun is a word that refers to a thing such as a person, animal, place, idea, and etc. Noun is an open word class which can easily incorporate new members into it through borrowing and other word formation processes. For example, the singular noun cat differ from the plural noun cats by adding the suffix s at the end of the noun. Next is about verb. Verb is an action word and also denote events, activities, or states. Additionally, verbs inflect for tense, aspect, arguments, negations, and mood. Next about adjective. Adjective is a word that modifies and gives more information about a noun or pronoun. And adjectives also often have forms for degrees such as comparative and superlative. For example, the adjective happy and the comparative form of the adjective happy is happier and the superlative form is happiest. Next is adverb. Adverb is a word that describes more about a verb, adjective, another adverb, and etc. For example, she sings loudly, and the word loudly is an adverb because it describes how, where, and when an action took place. And then next is about adpositions, or also called as prepositions and postpositions. Adpositions are particles that occur with a noun phrase. Prepositions in English are on, of, with, by, under, like, and to. And the example sentence is Olivia puts the book on the table. Next, about quantifiers. Quantifiers indicates a quantity of the object denoted by the noun. Quantifiers in English are some, many, a lot of, a few, etc. For example, there are many cats here. Next is numerals. Numerals are counting numbers such as 1, 2, 3 that provide information about the amount of a word or phrase. A quantifier and a numeral may occur together, such in the noun phrase all three girls. Next, about demonstrative. Demonstrative is a determiner or a pronoun that points to a particular noun or to the noun it replaces. There are 4 demonstrative in English, which is this, that, these, those. Next is about articles. Article is a word that comes before a noun to show if it's specific or general. Article in English are the, a, and. And then next is about conjunctions. Conjunction is a part of speech that connects words, phrases, or clauses. And the last class is about pronouns. Pronoun is a word that can replace a noun in a sentence. And there are 3 types of pronouns in English: personal pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, and interrogative pronouns. Next, we're going to talk about phrase. Actually, I have explained about phrase in the previous video. So there are 4 types of phrases in English. First one is noun phrases, and then verb phrases, and then prepositional phrases, and the last one is adjective phrases. So next is about clause. A clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb that have a relationship. A clause conveys information about what the subject is or is doing rather than simply being a random grouping of words. For example, Olivia washes the dishes. And then there are grammatical relationships between elements of the clause, beginning with the verbs and their arguments. There are 2 types of arguments. The first one is core arguments, are those that have a grammatical relationship with the verb. And the second one is oblique arguments that do not have a grammatical relationship with the verb. For example, in the sentence, Zain painted on his book with a brush. The subject Zain and the object his book are being the core, while the noun phrase or a complement with a brush is being an oblique. So next we're going to talk about sentence. A sentence is a set of words that typically contain a subject, predicate, object conveying a statement, question, exclamation, or comment, and consisting of a main clause and sometimes one or more subordinate or dependent clauses. So next we're going to talk about function. First one is head and modifier. A modifier is a word, a phrase, or clause that function as an adjective or adverb to provide additional information about another word or word group called the head. Modifiers that appear before the head are called pre-modifiers. For example, Taylor Swift is a really good singer. The word really good is a pre-modifier, and really is an adverb as it is modifying an adjective. And modifiers that appear after the head are called post modifiers. For example, in the noun group, the rules of the game. The prepositional phrase of the game in this noun group is a post modifier. So next we're going to talk about subjects. Subjects are one type of core noun phrase. English subjects occurs before the verb in stylistically neutral statements. For example, she talks very loudly. The suffix s is added to the verb talk because of the subject of the sentence is the third person singular. Next, about object. Transitive and intransitive verbs have objects. Objects are also a type of core arguments, and there are two types of objects. The first one is direct object, which directly follow the verb. For example, Julia gave Sarah the gift. And the second one is indirect objects, occur only with the transitive verbs. For example, Julia gave the gift to Sarah. The indirect object occurs following the preposition to, and it is the double object construction. And the last one is about predicate. A predicate is the part of a sentence or clause containing a verb and stating something about the subject, or tells what the subject is doing or what the subject is. A complete predicate is going to be all the words that modify and further describe the verb. For instance, in the sentence, he ran a long way. A simple predicate would just be the verb ran, but the complete predicate is ran a long way. So I think that's all that I can explain about the syntactic forms and the functions on this recording. I'm sorry if there are any mistakes on this video, and thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.